welcome back to the channel. I'm just starting to rig up a few rods to head out on the water with my boys. We've got a nice day here in Wisconsin, so I want to head out on the river and see what I can find. It's the first time out. It's the ice just came off most of the backwaters entirely over the last couple of days, although last night was really cold and we had some skin ice in a few areas. But I'm just going to head out on some backwaters just to kind of get out, take the boys out of the house. They've been itching to get out in the boat, so we're going to go do that. And while I was rigging up a swim jig, dirty jig swim jig with a Berkeley the Deal, you guys know that this is one of my favorite baits. It's a go-to. I've got one tied pretty much anywhere I go in the country. The only difference is what color, what size. But I was tying it on a braided, a pole with some braided line. And it had me think about a question I got the other day from one of you guys out there, and it was, what knot do I use with braided line? And that's a pretty simple answer. I mean, I tie two knots with braided line. I either tie a snell knot if I'm using a straight shank hook and I'm flipping into heavy cover. But other than that, the knot I use for all braided line applications, if I'm tying braid directly to my bait, is a double Palomar knot. To me, this is the best braided line knot that I've ever seen, I've ever used. It's extremely strong. The single Palomar knot is really all you need. I just choose to put the second loop in to make it a double Palomar knot. And then at that point, I've got 4 lines of braid going through my hook eye. And I feel like that gives me a little bit, it puts me at a peace of mind just based on knowing that I've got a little extra strength of knot around my hook eye in case, like up here in the north, you run into northern pike or muskie. They've got really sharp teeth, and if they bite that knot, potentially I'll be able to land the fish because not all of the line through the eyes have been cut. I've definitely caught a few fish in the past where I've got, you go to look at your knot around the eye of your hook and you see one strand has been cut. So with I prefer to throw the double Palomar knot just because I feel like it gives me a little bit extra security around that hook. So I'm going to show you guys how to tie it. I use this application with everything. Like I said, if I'm casting anything with braids, swim jigs, frogs, occasionally chatterbaits, flipping stuff, some swim baits. At pretty much any time I'm throwing braid directly to my bait, I'm going to tie a double Palomar knot. So this is how you tie it. All right, so to tie the double Palomar knot, what you got to do is you got to take your tag end, fold it over, so you've doubled up your line. And then you're going to want to take that point that you just created, go through the eye of your bait, just like so. So at this point, if I were to put an overhand knot in that, that would be the start of a single Palomar knot. But I like the double Palomar knot. So the difference between a single Palomar and a double Palomar is simply you're going to take the line that you just went through and go through the eye of your hook a second time. You're going to pull that down. So as you can see, I've gone through that swim jig twice. So I've actually got 4 strands through that eye. At that point, you're going to do a single overhand knot, just like you would at the start of tying your shoes. So you can see I've just made a single overhand knot, and I'm going to pull that tight. So I've got my loop end and I've got my tag end with my main line. You're going to take your loop and take your bait or your hook or whatever you're tying on and put it through that loop. Once you've done that, let's get our skirt material out of the way. Once you've done that, you can pull your main line tight and that loop will slowly get smaller and tighten down. And that's it. That's the double Palomar knot. You cut your tag end off, and you're left with a super strong knot. That thing is not going anywhere. As strong as you want to pull that, you will not break that knot. It's a great knot for braid. All right, guys, that was it. Really straightforward, really simple. It does not take much to learn to tie this knot, but I highly recommend if you're using braided line directly to your bait, no leader material, that you learn to tie the double Palomar knot. I think you'll find that it's extremely strong. It does not slip. When you tie it wrong, it does pull out. So you know pretty easily whether you tied that knot right or wrong. If it cinches down and is tight, you're good to go. If you cinch down and it slips and slides out and you're left with no knot at all, then you know you've tied it incorrectly and you got to tie a new one. That's one of the reasons I love this knot. So give it a whirl, guys. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment if there's a different knot or a better knot that you think that's out there for braided line. I'd love to hear what it is. I like learning new knots and trying them all out, so leave a comment. Otherwise, if you enjoy the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and stay tuned. We got new videos coming out every day.